Hey James, how are you? So you got an MRI. It's cool. I'm glad your bones are fine, but I guess longer than normal. But you're not dying, at least. When you told me that you were having bone problems, I don't know how to take that. I don't know what to do with that information, so I got worried. But now I guess you're okay. But cool thing about MRIs, or I guess worrisome thing, and what you've been saying when you're worried about getting an MRI is that I remember back in X2 and X3, the X-Men movies, Magneto was sent to prison, and he was in this like glass and plastic box, and he was in prison, and Mystique, his cohort, was at a bar hatching a plan to get him out. So she seduced one of the security guards that were at the prison, and she roofied him and injected him with iron, right? And he wakes up and he's like, "Oh, I got roofied, I guess." And he goes to the prison, and Magneto sucks the iron out of his skin with his magnet powers, and he turns them into little balls that he uses to tear up the prison, and he leaves the prison. I don't think you ever have to worry about that. I don't think I have to worry about that either. And from reading online, that's not something that that happens to people, that the MRI machine just sucks the iron out of your skin and you die. But there are stories out there that I read of, in 2001, like a 16-year-old kid, he was in an MRI machine, and the machine turned on and sucked in an oxygen tank, and it conked him in the head, and he died. There's some stories like that. I don't think there's like really like, that's pretty horrific, but there's not like any of, my hip replacement got pulled out of my body and ripped right out of my body or something. I think doctors like take care of that. They're pretty conscious of that. My wife told me that the most common MRI injuries are from tattoos, because there will be like iron or metal of some sort in the ink of like prison tattoos, and they'll go into the machine and they'll just cause burns because the machine's like ripping the metal content out of their tattoos, or the magnet passes over the metal and it creates an electric current, and then that burns you, right? Which is something that does happen in real life when you put metal inside a magnet. Yeah. So, I'm glad you're okay. I too am okay. No MRIs. COVID's fine. But speaking of tattoos, I really want to get into tattoos and how I want one and how I've wanted one or many for years. And how my problem's a little bit different than yours. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk to you this week about. I want a tattoo, but I'm a scared little baby, just a little scared baby man, to get one because I don't know what it'll look like on me. This isn't going to be a conversation about race at all or privilege. This isn't like that. This is a person of color venting about how I want tattoos, how I'm worried about getting them, and how my story and many other people of color's stories are different when getting them. And that is because I'm worried about what it'll look like on my skin, right? And the reason I'm so worried is that on Instagram, you can follow many, many tattoo artists, right? And many talented men and women and everything in between. And I follow like, I don't know, 20, 30 tattoos in the Chicago area, tattoo artists. And a lot of them do exactly what I want. I want like heavy black lines on my skin. I'm not really interested in getting color stuff. And I follow people around the country. But the problem is, you go on Instagram and you look at their portfolio, their resume, their huge listing and pictures of all their tattoos, and it's all on beautiful white, typically pale skin, right? And it's not just like, there's 10 of them and one black person, another 10, and one black person or person of color. It's the whole thing, top to bottom, beginning to end. I've been doing tattoos for 5 years, and these are the pictures I've chosen to show, are on there, right? And so I'm just like, how does this look on my skin? And before I even knew the science of why, if I want a tattoo that I see on a on pale skin, how it'll look on mine, it's just very difficult, right? It's very difficult to translate the two, because I have this layer, and I'm not even the darkest, right? I'm like a mid-tone, I think. There's a guy named James Rithy. He's a tattoo artist. He's on YouTube, and he's watching his videos about tattooing in dark skin, what he has to do, what he has to think about, what other tattoo artists have to think about has been really just really enlightening about what you're looking for when getting a tattoo. And so maybe I'll prop up his color chart here of how he defines skin tones. But I'm more of like a mid-range tone. And yeah, I mean, if I see like a beautiful vaporwave art on someone's skin that's, it's got the purples and the neon colors or something, I want that. I have to know it's not going to look like that on me. But it's kind of not misleading. It's just like, it's disheartening when you go on Instagram and you're like, oh man, I love this art, but there's no black people. I see black people. There's no people of color here to kind of do a one-to-one translation or get an idea of like, oh, this person really knows how to do that. And I know I can probably talk to them, I can probably request it, but if you're going to someone like, I don't know, like Bang Bang or other huge popular tattoo artists, they probably get hundreds of, if not thousands of like emails a day, a week about, hey, I want a tattoo, I want to talk to you about tattoos, right? So to want to go to someone with clout and talent to tattoo me, but then they don't show any colored people on their resume, on their portfolio, it's like really disheartening. And I get it. I get that, like, if you want to show off your work and you want to show off how vibrant your flowers or whatever you have are, sure, are you gonna show it on this beautiful white palette? Or are you gonna show it on this darker palette where all your tones get washed out, right? You're probably gonna go here, because you're gonna make more money. They're trying to run a business, right? And that doesn't make it exactly okay, but it's not like they're maliciously doing it. They want my business, right? And if I make an appointment with someone like Bang Bang or all these people that I'm thinking about getting a tattoo with, I'm sure they'll work with me. They're, oh yeah, these are all the pictures of the people of color I've worked on and whatever, but just like at face value, there aren't, at least, and it's really weird because Chicago, I think, has the second largest black population in the U.S. There isn't a lot of tattoo artists out here that like want to show off, hey, I do tattooed people of color. I specialize in tattoo people of color. And I know they're out there. I'm not saying they're not. It's just that, like, it's very, it seems rare to me. It doesn't seem like it's 51% or something, right? It doesn't seem like it's like a majority. But, yeah, these are just the things that I worry about getting tattooed with. And I'm a very cautious person. Before I tackle any hobby or anything, I have to research the crap out of it. If I spend, and with tattoos, you're gonna, if you want it to be good, typically it's gonna be expensive, right? It's gonna be on my body forever. And so this is something that you should really, really, really commit to doing research on and getting, I think, the perfect thing. And it saddens me that people don't necessarily do that, and that's a different conversation. But like I said, I'm sure people are more than willing to work with me. It's not a malicious thing. It isn't about white privilege. It isn't about, race or, oh, I hate people of color or something. I know they're trying to run a business, and they're going to show off the best of what they got, But yeah, and as for things I want to get tattoos of, I'm thinking of, like, I really want, like, some manga art, because I read a lot of manga, I read a lot of comics, I think, and yeah, or maybe like a xenomorph, because I'm really into horror and aliens, which is a huge, huge thing in my life. I think another thing is, like, when you look at like tattoos, like, because I talk to my friends who get tattoos, and I voice my problems, like, oh, like, tattoos. LeBron James got a lot of tattoos, or so and so, like, super famous sportsmen got tattoos. You kind of look at their tattoos, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. It's like black on brown almost, right? It's not. It's like if someone with all that money could do better, in my opinion. If it makes, I'm sure it means a lot to them, and I'm sure it's great for them. But that's something that I'm scared of with my tattoos. When I get them, it's like I want them to mean something to me, and I want to be able to look at them and enjoy them. But I also want, like, people to look at my tattoo and be like, oh, that person must like horror or sci-fi, or this means something to him, and I know what it is. It's in Xenomorph. It's from Junji Ito's Tomie. It's a Venture Brothers logo, and I can see it. I can see it from 10 feet away, and I can see it right on him. I don't want something that's like gonna be heavy black lines, but like melt into my skin or something, or like if I want to get a Tomie tattoo with like red on it because she's a horror icon. I don't want the red to like muddle everything up with my brown skin. And that's the other thing too, is that like right now I'm not really that dark, but when summer hits me, I darken by 1 or 2 shades for sure. That's another thing I'm definitely afraid of, is like if I get tattooed in the wintertime, like, look, it's great for my mid-tone color. Then in the summertime, when the sun hits me, it's like, well, everything darkened up. But I guess that you just have to apply sunblock and take care of your tattoos. But yeah, how are you doing, James? I hope Seattle is good for you. I hope that COVID-19 hasn't made its way into your life. I hope that this all blows over soon. And I hope that these states that are reopening seriously reconsider opening. So, whatever. But yeah, cool, man. I'll see you later.